Getting stuck or lost in a video game, we've all been there, whether you get stuck because you can't solve a puzzle or you just can't get past a certain boss fight. And I've experienced this many times. I remember when I first played Silent Hill 2, I couldn't get past this certain part because I couldn't find a certain passcode to this box. I searched throughout the hospital, looked through every room and looked through everything that I thought was interactable at this time, but apparently the code on the box was on this like blood-stained wall that I had no idea which was interactable like at all. You might think that like, oh dude, that the blood on the wall that has to stand out, but it's Silent Hill 2. That's just normal compared to like the eldritch monsters that just appears in the game. Another one, which was this was kind of stupid, Super Mario Sunshine. In this game, you usually enter the world just by entering like through like a portal or something, but to enter Noki Bay, you have to look directly at the sun. There is like no indication in the game, or maybe there is and I just didn't miss it. But how am I supposed to know that like generally? Now I searched this up on YouTube and many share the exact same problem that I had. But like, you know, getting stuck in a video game, is that my fault? Or should I just blame the developers? Like you know, I can never do wrong. My voice just cracked like so many times. So what the? I think it makes sense to get stuck in like retro games, right? This was before like game design philosophy has like fully come to its own in recent years. But put up any game from the Atari or NES, and I guarantee that you can't be like any of them. You can't beat Yo Noid. I guarantee you. Even games that weren't in the like the NES era. I remember playing Final Fantasy VII on the Nintendo Switch. While Final Fantasy VII was definitely ahead of its time when it was first released on the PlayStation 1. But playing it nowadays, you can't really tell what is interactable or not, or what is a key item, right? And when they released it on the Nintendo Switch, I think they were definitely aware of the problems it had. They added a feature where they tell you what is interactable or not. But like most of the time, when I do have to solve a puzzle in a video game, but rather I'm like missing like a certain like item or tool in the game, it's not because I don't know how to play the game. It's because like you're solving like a jigsaw puzzle with a missing puzzle piece. I think when designing a video game, it's important to know that the players are aware of the abilities that they have at hand. That's why there's like so many like yellow pointing you at a direction in modern games. Even if you do get stuck, you can always just look through like a YouTube walkthrough or just a guide. But back in the day, they didn't have that luxury. You have to buy like a separate video game manual just to make up for the faulty game design. You know, the craziest thing that I just found from like a Scott the Woz video is that there used to be a Nintendo hotline just for you to call whenever you get stuck in like in a Nintendo video game. But believe it or not, video game developers aren't really out to get you. When there is a roadblock in a video game, they do keep the player in mind. You know, they actually do want you to enjoy the video game that they made. It's better to approach it as a skill check rather than blaming it on the developers. When there is a boss fight, it usually relies on knowing what tools and kits you have and remembering the boss's attacks so you're able to dodge and evade and overcome on top. And I think this skill, it definitely builds up over time and it translates to other games. And puzzles, they're actually not like an intelligence check. It's like if you can't solve a puzzle, it's not because you're stupid. Solving puzzles is also a skill. For puzzles, you have to rely on your memory and recognize and be able to deduce on how to solve the puzzle. I think chess, not a video game, but I think it's a really good example. People who play chess, that doesn't automatically make them a smart person. It's also just like, see if you can out-memorize your opponent's own memory of the game. It's a memory check. What is the key takeaway of this? I love YouTube video walkthroughs. They're rad, Brad.